the show. These drivers all have a few things in common, but the most recent and perhaps most interesting storyline has to be what essentially became a trade between Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman.
It's nice to officially end all the speculation about and teams. I signed a deal with Stewart-Haas Racing.
I can't say that I'm happy with how everything unfolded.
Where do you think Ryan Newman winds up?
The rumor mill has always been out there. Is it RCR?
The announcement became official.
Ryan Newman now has new life. He knows what his future is next year.
Ryan Newman is going to RCR.
Now, owner Richard Childress is no stranger to running for championships. He won 6 with Dale Earnhardt. But this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for his race team, and now he has as good a shot at the championship as the other 3 contending owners.
They keep being very, very consistent.
The big thing is winning.
I'm going to take Ryan Newman. He knows how to get it done.
You know, the drivers will race to whatever format we have.
Newman's beside the 42, and he's 42's in the wall. Ryan Newman is going to get in with that move on the last lap.
This is pretty clear. You have to win.
When NASCAR announced this new format that had the emphasis on winning, did you think any driver would be able to make it this far into the championship knockout without a win?
Not really. I felt we would have won races this year. We've been right there on several occasions, but we haven't been able to close the door. The consistency comes back from when I was a driver, and I had to finish every race, and I had to be there to get the money to go to the next race. That's where the consistency and the theory for RCR comes from.
Richard, can we go back to the beginning of the year and look at your driver lineup? Did you see this as a rebuilding year? Did you honestly think you could be a championship contender?
Well, you always got to believe going in. If you don't believe, you're beat going in. So, yes, we believe we could have the guys in the championship chase.
Some people are labeling Ryan in this chase as an underdog. Does that label bother you?
I wouldn't call it an underdog. I'd call it more like... you know, when the Kansas City Royals came in, they were there, and nobody expected them to be there. Nobody really expected us to be there.
Dale Earnhardt circles Atlanta Motor Speedway, receiving the congratulations of the fans. He's out in turn number 3 as this sold-out crowd salutes the 7-time now NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
Well, you've come close since 1994, a couple times, with Kevin Harvick specifically, 3 third-place season-ending finishes. Nervous, anxious, relaxed? What's the mood been like for you?
You know, I've been here enough. I've seen enough. I'm not nervous. I'm concerned. You got to stay concerned. I want the best for my team. I want the best for our organization.
Luke Lambert has come up through your organization.
Got a hand for Luke Lambert. A lot of his calls that he's made throughout this chase have put him and Ryan Newman in a great spot.
How crazy would it be if Luke wins his first Cup championship before he wins his first ever Cup race?
Luke's really worked hard to get where he's at. I'm really proud of what he's been able to accomplish in putting together this whole race team.
What's it going to take to win this race? Joey Logano said, I think you're going to have to win it. Other people have said, I think a top 10 or a top 5. Where's that winning position going to be? You
know, I think you're going to have to be in the top 5 for sure. But you're going to have guys like Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski. So you're going to have to beat a lot of people, just not one of those 3 to win this race.
There's been some hard racing throughout this chase. Brad Keselowski at Texas, Ryan at Phoenix most notably. If they're nose to tail on the last lap for this championship, how do you want Ryan to race on the last lap?
Just like Dale Earnhardt would have done it.
Now, Kevin Harvick left Richard Childress Racing because he thought that move gave him a better chance to win a championship. But, Jeff, it's good to look back at RCR now and see that they have a championship contender as well, even after Kevin left.
No, let's make sure we get one thing straight. Richard Childress Racing is a very solid organization. They've won nationwide championship. They've won, Cup championships with Dale Earnhardt. But the reason why Kevin left was he felt like he needed a faster car. He needed to have more speed in his car. And right now, when you take a look at the numbers, Richard Childress himself said, you got to have a top 5 finish. Ryan's only had 4 top 5 finishes all season long. So it's going to be a big struggle. What Kevin was trying to do was get in a car that each and every week he could win in. He's got the wins. He's led more laps than he's ever done in his previous 7 seasons, which were with Richard Childress Racing. Again, when you look at Ryan's numbers, they haven't been that spectacular. They've been solid. They've been consistent. But the difference is I want to win a championship. Kevin's got the opportunity right now because he got a fast race car. It's going to take some kind of a miracle move or somebody with a little bit of luck on his side to win it if you're coming. I'm talking about the Ryan Newman camp.
You know, Jeff, I think Richard Childress, the whole RCR bunch, I think they hit the lotto. They're in Florida right now. They got the lotto going on, and I think Ryan Newman is a hero. And I'll tell you why. Because when that man right there, when Richard Childress, the man on your right, when he lost when he lost Kevin Harvick, there was a moment like, what are we going to do, Johnny? You know, what are we going to do? We lost Kevin Harvick. He's won us the Daytona 500. He's won us the Brickyard, the All-Star race stuff. He's won it all. And looky here, the driver that replaced Harvick has now got them in the championship. Boy, I think it's an awesome story.
It's a great story so far this year, and it's one of those stories where a whole year's worth of work all comes down to one race at the end of the season, and that's what we're looking at as the number 31 car driven by Ryan Newman makes its way out to the starting grid. Now, Richard Childress' driver Newman probably made the move of the chase last week at Phoenix, but what will be acceptable racing today? Log on now to FOXSPORTS.com/vote on your computer or FOXSPORTS.com/connect live on your mobile device. Voting is open and will be straight ahead. If there's a favorite